I've started to dive deep into AI copywriting in the past couple months, and I've seen Cardinal Mason and a couple other influencers basically explaining on YouTube how AI is the new wave to write copy for yourself. And honestly, his explanations aren't very good, so let me explain why. By the way, I do like Cardinal Mason's content. He obviously makes a ton more money than me and has a lot more experience in the online business space, but I basically want to help you guys actually get good at writing copy using AI, and I don't want you guys to get false ideas on how this entire process basically works. For Mason, he makes all of his money off selling his copywriting program. I think it's called Copy MBA, and he paints out a picture that copywriting is very easy, takes minimal work to succeed, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. But once you actually try this business model out for yourself, you'll learn that all of these facts aren't true. He tells you to read cash advertising, and then you can start outreaching, sign your first client, and scale to 10K a month in the next 2 to 3 months. But when you don't know anything about how to write copy, how to do market research and understand your target audience, and so on, you'll never sign a client or make any money. But when he brings AI into the equation, he really convinces you, since you think you don't need to know the skill of copywriting to actually start making money online through this business model. Now, when he makes this business model appeal to everybody, this is going to bring in people who only want to start copywriting to make a little bit of quick cash online, and they don't care about getting clients results, and this basically affects this entire online industry, and this causes everyone's business to eventually crumble and just get messed up overall. So the thing I need you guys to understand is that writing copy with AI is just another form of copywriting in itself, since you need to know how to give these chatbots detailed prompts to follow so they can produce consistent and creative emails or content scripts every time. So let me go over how Mason kind of isn't telling the whole truth and how you can actually learn to write good copy utilizing AI. Now, Mason gives you a very basic prompt in his video that quite honestly won't produce you a good piece of copy. Maybe he is trying to reach a larger audience to get more people for his course, but this just isn't great. You give AI a prompt like, "You're the best marketer in the world. Now write me an email for a fitness coach trying to get more leads for his coaching program." And maybe he is downplaying this, like he actually has better prompts, but the prompt that he gives us in that video is just going to lead to a bad piece of copy and no success with clients. So let me go over how to actually structure a good prompt for AI copywriting. So in this prompt, at the start, you're giving the AI a basic description, basically explaining who you're writing for, who actually is your client, what kind of business do they own, and then you explain to them what you actually want to get out of the prompt. Do you want to get a 400-word email, a 1,000-word content script for a YouTube video, maybe a sales page? And then you want to explain the purpose that you want to get out of this email. Is it a welcome email to welcome new people to his email list? Is it an email to nurture their audience to actually get more leads to invest in his coaching program? So go over who you're writing for, who is your client, what you actually want to get out of this prompt, and the purpose that you want to use this email for. And then you need key components for each email, so you can go over subject lines, opening hooks, and with each of these basic things, you want to give the AI examples so it can produce replicas, but in creative ways every time. Then you can go over the body content structure, how they will break current beliefs, how it should value stack in the email, how it should go over the social proof of your client. Then you can go over the closing formula, the urgency element, the call to action, the sign off on the email. And then you can also go over the PS section formula. And again, you should try to have a couple examples for each of these formulas. And then you can go over the visual formatting guidelines, the text formatting, how do you want it to format the text, the key phrases for the openers, and give examples for all of these, key phrases for transitions, for closers, for FOMO triggers, and then you can go over the content themes to incorporate, which could be lifestyle elements, pain points to address for your audience, success indicators, which could also be the desires that your audience actually has. And all of this just stems off of understanding your target audience and doing market research to understand them. That's the prompt. It's like 4 pages, but it produces really good copy, a new creative formula using AI every time. So you can see how in that prompt, I basically wrote like a 3 to 4 page prompt telling the AI everything I want them to include in that piece of copy. The structure, the exact words, how to hook and close the email. I went over key phrases, transitions, and words to trigger FOMO in the email. I also included a ton of examples which are key to ensure that the AI can be creative and produce different ideas every time. And giving AI a prompt as detailed as this will produce you an amazing creative email every time. You might need to make some adjustments since AI isn't perfect. You need to understand that. But these prompts you're aiming to write for each client, so you can see how this prompt is like writing copy itself, since you need to do a ton of market research to write the prompt. Whereas for Mason in his video, he preaches on how he downloads a really good email for a big creator, and basically tells the AI to replicate that formula. And it's very hard to edit an email that's already getting very good results for a client. If you give a client an email utilizing Cardinal Mason's prompt, they will never want to work with you again. Because using this prompt, I tested it out. It's basically a copy of an email that a client has already sent out to their pre-existing email list. So you need to understand the basics of copywriting still, and you need to understand the exact market that your client is selling to. So using AI to write copy obviously isn't as easy as people pin it out to be. You still need to know everything that makes up your target audience and lots more. And this can vary for each client that you're actually working with. So you can take inspiration from my prompt, but to actually get good at writing prompts for AI, so you can get good at AI copywriting, you need to do practice. So pick out a certain client or content creator. It really doesn't matter who it is. It could be Brez, it could be Cardinal Mason, it could be anybody out there on the market, and write the key components, who your client is, the style elements, the subject lines, the hooks, the structure, the value stacking, the social proof, the closing section, the PS section, the key phrases, the FOMO triggers, the pain points, the desires, and always give relevant examples for each of these things. I know that's a lot of elements, but all of that is honestly the bare minimum of things that you need to include in your prompt to produce an amazing piece of copy using AI. And once you have this huge template for one specific client, you can feed this into Claude and tell it to write that email. Have the initial prompt at the top describing everything the email is about. Like this prompt right here, that's the initial prompt that you're going to be feeding it. And then add the rest of the information under that initial prompt. All the examples, the opening hook, the subject line formula, the social proof, everything that makes up your target audience. Add all of it under that initial prompt, and then you're going to be able to produce amazing pieces of copy using AI. And again, remember to include examples for certain elements in your prompt. But remember, AI is just a tool that is only as powerful as your understanding in the online business space. If you don't understand scripting, funnels, offers, messaging, or who the target audience of your client is, then you only have a tool that won't make you any money, since you have zero understanding of how online business, how marketing, and how copywriting actually works. AI copywriting is not as easy as people pin it out to be in their videos. If they pin it out to be really easy, they're probably just trying to sell you on their mentorship or course in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.